Yes, so we are back. And we swapped things a bit today, you must have noticed. So we have the lifestyle segment now. And like he said before we went on break, it's a lifestyle of love.
Why is it difficult?
Why?
Is it difficult to live a lifestyle of love?
Nobody said it was difficult.
Oh, really?
Well, we shall ask the expert in a minute. And the expert is Mrs. Nike Adeyemi, who's a global speaker and a pastor. Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Please allow me to ask the fair question.
Okay, all right.
First of all, happy Mother's Day. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, Abby. But I want to ask this, first of all. There are those who believe that divorce rates are rising unnecessarily, spiking. All over the world, maybe, but particularly even in our country, for whatever reason. Do you agree?
Somewhat, yes. I think.
And do you also agree that more and more young people are not interested in marriage?
Wow.
Yes.
You do?
On, yeah. Because I really talked about that last weekend in church. I talked about that. A lot of young people don't seem to be interested because they feel if this is what it's like, I mean, it's not, is it worth it? It's not worth it because of what they see on the media, what they see. You know, it's the negative news that really makes the news. And with this advent of social media, people are not happy with their spouse. Something is going on. They've set ring lights. They're ranting. People notice. They're already doing a choo-choo-choo-choo. Oh, looks like this couple are having problems, da-da-da-da. So I think there's a lot of that out there. And I think a lot of people, young people feel, if this is how it is,
and I don't want
then
any
I
of it.
don't want. So
yeah, but on the flip side of that, there are still people who find their soulmates,
who are doing well,
find friendship, find true love, and are prepared to be committed to it.
You're so spot on, because I was saying last weekend that those who are doing well in marriage and who are lasting, who are, you know, going on 10, 15 years and on, are silent. And I'm not saying that, I'm not bashing them for being silent. I'm not saying it's not okay to be silent, because honestly, maybe that's part of what's helping them. They're keeping their head under and they're, you know, so, but that is not helping.
Just getting on with it.
That is not helping the narrative, you know. And, I mean, marriage is work. I'll be 32 years married, and I'm not, it's the grace of God. I am not boasting, honestly. I am just saying this just to add to the narrative that you can last and you can be happy, because there's a narrative also that some people are saying those who last, maybe last is not the word, but those who seem to have longevity, who endure, whose marriages have not broken up, and they're going on maybe 15, 20. Most likely one person is not happy. I've seen that narrative, and I'm also saying, why must you look for what is not missing? Why is it so negative that you must say even those who are lasting, they're enjoying abuse? Somebody is not, you know, it's just adding to the fact that it's as if marriage is not supposed to last. So that as to young people
expecting it not to last.
Yeah, exactly. So that means young people are thinking that, okay, those who are long in marriage, they are suffering inside and just patching it.
I know they do.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. Perhaps, I'm sorry, I hope this also helps.
Yeah.
Perhaps there is a misunderstanding of the word or term or philosophy of love. Because people will say, okay, don't marry someone you don't love, don't, you know, love only someone you marry or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm even hearing another narrative that some are saying love is not enough.
I felt you were going there.
So what are you going to add to it? So do you agree that love is not enough?
They're saying it, I mean, love should be everything.
Absolutely.
But they're saying it in this context. I've seen people say love is not enough. You need respect. You need to be hardworking, you need to be, you know, just those other things. But I think it still all comes under the umbrella of love, and it's because of how they've defined love. So if they say love is not enough, they have this picture of love as take anything, lovey-dovey, you know, cuddle up to yourselves all the time, and that is not love.
Yeah, but cuddle up.
Love.
You get married, and within a month or two,
you get tired.
I mean, reality hits you.
Hits you.
You got rent to pay.
That is why they say love is not enough. Respect, hard work, mutual respect, hard work. You know, just those other things that would open your eyes if your eyes were not open before. That life and love is to continue to honor, to respect, you know, irrespective of how the environment is. Love is a decision. That's what a lot of people don't know. It's a decision. Marital love is a commitment. That's why you take the vows. It's a commitment that when things are not too okay, we're in it. When things are okay, we're in it.
For better,
for
worse.
Yes. So maybe a lot of people they didn't have a proper understanding of what love is before going into it. And they don't have staying power. Like, you know, people will say our mothers and our parents of old had staying power. But some will also say it's because they endured abuse, but not necessarily so. There are times things are rough, but you stick together.
But you know, the challenge here is no one likes pain. Yeah. And let's be real. Nobody likes pain. No one no one wants to endure discomfort. Anytime I want to go and take injection, I'm afraid that I'm going to faint. So nobody likes any discomfort. So the question, where the question is now is, okay, so part of the narrative also is people go into marriages, into relationships with a backlog of their own trauma.
Yeah.
The fellow that you are connecting with is also bringing
his own baggage along.
No, not just baggage of trauma.
Yeah.
Baggages.
You know, so you both bring it there. Who is going to help who heal and all of that? So those challenges are there, and it would seem like unless those are addressed, we are not going to make any progress. So in terms of living this lifestyle of love, you're essentially saying it's a lifestyle of decisions that has to be made every day. Yes. But what should be the bedrock of that decision?
So talking about healing and trauma and everything, we advise singles to, you know, heal, be self-aware. Years past, we didn't talk about these things, and many of us just went headlong into it. So you deal with it, you help one another, but we're saying to singles, preferably, be self-aware, get healing, get counseling, get therapy, get help, even before you find a mate. Help yourself to heal, to discover, look at your past, look at what triggers you. Help yourself to a certain extent before you find a life partner. And then even when you find a life partner, soulmate, someone to marry, etc., continue in that journey. Continue your healing journey. Be your best version of yourself. Continue to be better. You meet someone along that journey and you continue to grow. And if that person too has baggages, hopefully that person too is healing and is growing, and then you continue to grow together and you help each other to be better. Because in reality, life happens. Okay, in life, even if you're emotionally healthy, mentally healthy, you've dealt with all traumas or you have no past traumas, the fact that, and you both are clean like that, and you get married, life could still happen. Somebody could fall into depression that wasn't there before. Somebody could have a physical accident, car accident or whatever. We don't pray for it. Nobody wants pain. Is it an excuse for the other person to abscond? And you did not see that coming? That is where the commitment comes. You stay in with that person because you tell yourself that, what if it was me? Then my partner will do that for me as well. So life happens. Now, look at the uncertainty in the world. Sudden earthquakes. Sudden, just yesterday, we're reading about Myanmar and Thailand. Sudden disruptions. You can't even, there are families there too. There are married people there too. There are people who are looking for a lost one, might find a lost one and the other person is pulled out of the rubble. Their life was almost perfect before, but they have to deal with it and still be married, even if they didn't have traumas before. Now, that is their own thing. Now, you said you hate pain. We all don't like pain. I don't like pain. I don't even like pain at all. Whether physical pain, whether emotional pain, I don't like to see people go through pain. Talk less of even myself. But guess what? Mothers, pain. Especially if you are going to birth, whether it is not natural delivery, norm or CS, whether you take epidural or you don't take epidural, there's some level of pain. Forget social media. Someone is dancing, she's pregnant, she's dancing, and you're like, oh, this pregnancy fits you. And then the next post, pong, ooh, cute baby. She did not post the pushing. There's some measure of pain. Exactly, so you don't like, you're running from injection. We take injection.
That's why
in the 9 months,
you will beg for injection.
You will even beg for injection.
That's why you people have the anointing.
No, it's not that way. We just have to. It's part of the package.
Now, we're talking about a lifestyle of love in context, in the context of marriage. And it could be in the context of single life, it could be in context of anything else. But the reason that this is going out, and I'm glad that you started by saying that people put out what they want people to see. And when something that was supposed to be good turns out to be not so good, it gives people something to say, social media and all of those things. But then there is also the impact that it makes. Now, you are advocating, it would seem, that those whose marriages are working should also start to speak so that people know, you know, that it's a good thing. But then there is that Yoruba proverb that when your yam is you don't where you know they chop am,
you cover am.
Even though I know your husband says it's because the yam is not big enough.
So that mentality is
so that could be part of the reason that people are keeping their things. People talk about only what they know. So please, what's the balance here?
I think those who are doing well in marriage and who have been married for a while, they know certain things. They can share. They can come on programs like this. They can coach on social media. They can post 5 tips to help you in marriage without necessarily saying, oh, this is my beautiful marriage, this is my beautiful husband, see all my children, without necessarily posting all those, is there really? But they should just speak up, and they should also be vulnerable to tell us the other side, because those who are doing well too, it's sometimes hard, but it's just that we went through the hard. So you can give tips of how I navigated a very difficult patch in my marriage. I've had tough patches.
To help others.
I've had tough patches. And some people, because maybe they know who my husband is, in their mind they're thinking, when you're married to an angel, why will your marriage not be sweet? No, he has to be real. I have to be real as well.
Are there really angels?
About the times when, are there really angels?
In heaven?
No, on two legs.
Not really.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it's just how you see people.
That.
Yes, so, but people.
Since you're married to an angel.
No,
really?
I've not said I'm married to an angel, but some people think because he's a pastor.
Yes.
So those of us that minister to people on the stage when you're preaching, you look like,
perfect.
So that's it. Yeah, so there's that illusion that, but we don't live on that altar. We live in real life. So I'm advocating that people who have some longevity in marriage, I mean, whatever you call longevity, 5 years, 10 years, 15, speak up. Help us out. Okay. Help young people, help single people. Be a bit vulnerable. You're doing well in your marriage, but share just share some challenges, share how you've navigated life and how you're doing it. So it will give people hope.
Is it not also true that those who have longevity in marriage is as a result of the hard work which they have both put in?
Yes, ma'am.
It is not a bed of roses.
It is not, actually. So speak up if you have longevity in marriage. Speak up.
Let me ask you this, because I said something about trauma the other time, and I'm going to reiterate it a little bit. And here is why. There are those watching now. Alero has underscored something very, very important. People don't even want to think about getting married anymore. Just yesterday, I was speaking with a friend who was saying, as a medical doctor, she was telling me that, look, the best time to get married is before you are 30. Before you start having some complications that they call elderly something complications. And I'm wondering, at 30, someone is already elderly for giving birth. Wow. Anyway, so, but there are those who are afraid. There are those whose lives have gone not the way they want to get to. And I know you are organizing an event, next week, Saturday. And I know that part of what you want to address is for people to have this self-esteem thing. What is the role? What role does self-esteem play in marriage? And why should anybody who is married to a fine babe, a fine guy, be insecure?
Okay. I'll take it from the medical doctor lady, female, that says 30 is the best age or the maximum age. That's the wrong mindset. You can marry at any age. I don't think there should be an age limit.
No, that wasn't the context. She was just saying that medically.
Okay,
but not
medically.
Of course,
in terms
40,
of having children.
Yes. 40, 50-year-olds still get married.
People marry and they adopt. People having children should not be the primary reason. It's a good reason, it's one of the reasons, but it should not be the primary reason. The primary reason is companionship. Companionship. To have someone to do life with together. The word says, and the Lord said, it is not good that man should be alone. Let me give him a helpmate. This let me give him a birthing. Give him a helper that is comparable to him. And we read that before then, it was just animals that Adam had. For those of us who believe in the Bible. Let me give him a helper that is like him, bone of his bone, So it's no animals he'll be. So the first reason is companionship. And then procreation, children, all that can come into it. Because really, we shouldn't do life alone in times that we're in right now.
By the way,
we shouldn't do life alone.
Yeah, by the way, I used to get to that. That's what I
also talk about the event coming up. We shouldn't do life alone.
Well, in the course of the week, she had this viral video out. And so many people...
From my Instagram,
they latched on it saying that, don't stop comparing your husband with a pastor.
I didn't even know it would go viral.
Say, my pastor.
It was part of my message on Sunday. But there was just a small clip that we cut, and it's on my Instagram page.
What did you mean by that? Because for a pastor's wife to say that, I mean...
I said, and it wasn't even in my notes, because if you know how I speak by inspiration. I can have 3 points, and at the end of the day, I've said 10 things. So if you're listening, if you're my PA or anyone listening, I'll say, can you please send me your notes to tell me what you took down? That was not premeditated, but it came out. And this is what I was saying. I was saying that stop comparing your husband to your pastor, or stop stop singing about your pastor in front of your husband at home. At home, stop going, my pastor, my pastor, my pastor. Respect your own husband too. Stop putting it in his face. Because your husband may not be as spiritual as your pastor, but he's still your leader at home. And I said, actually, husbands like that, they may not have told you, but they feel like saying, go and marry your pastor now. So the men just went,
finally.
It was a moment. Even through that
said it.
That was that you said it moment. And it was like, yes, I went there. I said it. And so there are comments
you
like...
dared to say what everyone was thinking.
And there were comments like, even Instablog cut a clip. Just blogs. I had bloggers carried it.
Anyway.
They were saying things like, women and their pastor, or Nigerians and their pastors, or Nigerian women and their pastors are 5 and 6. And some women were like, that's true, we should do better. I liked that. Hardly anybody came for me. They came for me, that's fine. But it was as if men and women too agree that
Anyway,
actually
since
that
you-
was too much. That's the thing.
But it is the truth.
Yes, and I said, don't
Because
idolize
some
anybody.
women actually make their husbands feel, to use the
Inferior.
expression, one kind.
Yes.
When everything is, my pastor said, my pastor did,
Anyway,
my pastor.
Insta blog that you mentioned, they said you have finally broken the table.
Okay.
But yes, you wanted to talk
So it's
about
like I
that.
voiced the men's thoughts. I said, what
Yes.
he's trying to tell you and he has not told you is,
Yes.
go and marry your pastor now.
Yes, no.
And I think my expressions were like, yes. But it was just like...
So
Yeah,
yes,
so-
about
so-
that event and what informed, I'm
That.
particularly concerned about the fact that there are those who have inferiority complexes that they can't even explain.
Yeah. So I say to people, especially in their single states and also married, is we all need to have self-esteem. If you didn't have it before, if it was lost or broken somewhere along the line because life happened in your childhood or whatever, reclaim it. Because when you have a proper esteem, you will not compare your life, whether single or married, with another. Even as a single person, you won't look at a married person and say, God, when is my... You will be content and you will be working on getting better. You will see yourself as a person of worth, and you will not even look at marriage as the ultimate. I'm married, but I'm the first person that will tell people marriage is not a passport for heaven.
Yeah.
Especially since, I mean, I have a Christian audience and I have an audience that's outside the four walls of the church. So that marriage is not a passport for heaven. And I said, thank God it's not. And I said, because for the singles, I think it should be easier for you to enter heaven faster than we married people. Because when we get to the gates of heaven, I imagine that they say, you're married, okay. This is Nikki, okay. How did you treat that husband we gave you?
Well,
Sometimes you were angry at him, then I'm like, stand aside when we look at your file. Single people, you're here. You, oh yeah, enter.
You never
Just
married.
be going. Just be going because your devotion was just to the Lord. You're doing your thing, you serve the Lord. You are faithful at work, you shined your light. You know, when you sinned, you dusted yourself, you asked for forgiveness, you got up and you kept moving. You got to work on time, you didn't cheat your employers. You were good, largely. Okay, and you would ask for forgiveness whenever you fell. And so going, and I can just see them going in their droves. Because the Bible says that the single are concerned with the things of the Lord. But the married, okay, your devotion to God, but your horizon, is that horizontal? That's where we fail. You shout at each other, and then you forget to apologize, ask for forgiveness, forgive one another, and you're 3 days, you're still keeping balance.
And you're not cooking for him.
Oh,
you
you're
are annoyed.
punishing him because you are annoyed. And the man too, he too looks for ways to punish, just, you know, cold or
Stays
silent
away from
treatment.
home.
Yeah, stays out at work. And like, we
Yes.
have work, so I'm not coming till midnight.
Now
Yeah,
has to
yeah.
work until midnight
So
because
all
he
those
doesn't want
things,
to
we're
be
just
with
saying,
you.
Let love lead on both parts. Let love lead. Let's just try and be better. Let's work on our esteem and be better and better for ourselves and for those who are coming behind, especially children who are watching. Their parents as well. If they see you fight, please let them see you make up. Let them see you make up.
If they have seen you doing the fighting,
Let
then they
them
have to see
see
you.
doing the makeup.
Let them
Doing the
see
make-
you apologizing.
Exactly.
Let
Exactly.
them see you apologizing.
That is the lesson.
That's the lesson.
Yes.
And I always like to say that, you know, when you want to say sorry, don't say, have you eaten? Have you eaten is not sorry. Say sorry. That's gaslighting. We do it to children, we do it to spouses. Choti John, have you eaten? Say this. The have you eaten is not this. Say,
I am sorry.
No, you don't want them.
And then
no.
after that, you can say, have you
No.
eaten? And,
I don't have to say, forgive me.
yeah, forgive me.
You know, you don't want them to
Because
use the
I'm
double
sorry
style.
is sometimes very difficult to say.
Yeah.
Why is it difficult to say?
Forgive me. And then the other person should say, okay, forgive me.
I'm sorry.
I also was not. Because when one person says forgive me, the other person should be like, now you have come to your senses. The other person should be like, forgive me also. I'm also sorry. You know, even if you feel that you are not the one at fault. So my
one
event, like you said, I should talk about the event. This time Saturday, this time 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is all women, and then of course Sunday we'll have men in the building. But the theme is called Beautified. It's from Isaiah 61:3.
Well, my producer is saying that
it gives beauty for ashes. Now, women have gone through a lot. Many of us have gone through a lot.
Run out of time, though.
We want to talk about allowing the Lord to beautify our hearts and our lives. On Saturday, I'm going to have a guest speaker. I'll be speaking, but I'm going to have Sister Betty Irabo. We know her popularly as Auntie Betty. She's going to be speaking about wellness, about overcoming depression, anxiety. She has a story and what she's been through, and she's going to give us tips on that side of things. And then on Sunday is going to be a massive Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much,
Well,
Mrs. Nike Adeyemi.
She will send invoice.
Mrs. Nike
She has
Adeyemi,
heard you.
global speaker and a pastor. Thank you for coming to share this time with us.
Thank you
this
for having
morning
me.
On a lifestyle of love. And that is where we draw the curtain on today's show. For this month, we'll see you next month with another, well, episode of Sunrise. I wish you all the best until then. And happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there.
Wait a minute. Today is 29. Wow. Thank you so much for watching. Live a lifestyle of love. Happy birthday to Mr. President. You started that the other time. Oh, you're expecting your cake. You're not sitting properly, so no.
Yes. President, we're expecting our cake in channels.
Sorry. Have a wonderful
Hint,
rest
hint.
of your weekend. What is hinting again?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.